Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Mark McNease.
I am. You asked me in the green room, the pre-show, where I was. I'm on our back patio. This is the house that Frank and I have in New Jersey. Um, I don't know if I can show you much. I'm always hesitant, but there's our. It's 26 acres. That's our
Wow,
yard.
that's big. I didn't know there was that many acres.
Oh my
Cool.
God, yeah, it's huge, and that's the house. I don't really want to wiggle it around much because it takes up time, but it's gorgeous, and
But
now, it's
I
warm
bet
enough
if
for
you're
me to do these outside now, and we have a router inside in the house, so
oh,
Wi-Fi router.
good. I'm glad it works. Well, welcome to Cafe B, everyone. And if people outside are looking at you, Mark, they probably think you're like driving a hobby plane or something with that thing on your head.
It's called a headset, my dear. Do
Oh,
you see the little? I don't know if they'll be able to see this, but there's a little rainbow windmill behind me
I see it, so they might see it.
because we're gay.
You and Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, when you're married. There's two men married, I would assume you are gay, unless you're just awesome friends, which I know you guys are too. Cafe B, everyone. Thank you and welcome.
Be fierce, be authentic, be all you imagine. Anyone who
Cafe
pays
is
attention
open.
will notice it is now Cafe B. B.
I know.
B. Which you and I had discussed, and long story, but it's Cafe B because I just like that. B, like everything.
Oh my gosh, that was big for a bee.
And let's dedicate this show to our 7 fiercely loyal fans. Okay, anyways, we're going to the Phillies game today, by the way. Phillies Mets game, tailgate
Awesome.
party in the parking lot. This is like really, really, like, butch kind of thing to do. But it's going to be super fun.
Wow, at Mets where we did the Super Bowl, where I worked on the Super Bowl over that way.
This is Philadelphia, my dear.
Oh, well, where you live now? Where's New Jersey? Are you going to be? I mean, I know we're in New
We're an
Jersey.
hour from Philly. We're closer to Philly than we are to Manhattan.
I didn't realize that. Well, that'll be good. What team you're going to root for?
Oh, I don't know. I love
You're just
Philly, so I might go with the Phil. I might go with the Phillies.
extremely butch. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
I like it. Next subject. You talked about our viewers and you talked about being butch. Well, the cover of Time magazine, did you see who's on the cover of this week's Time?
Laverne Cox.
Yeah,
Awesome.
very
Awesome.
interesting. It's something we talked about in our former show, LGBTSR Age to Perfection, about this is the time for transgender equality. And the title actually, spoke to that. It said the next civil rights frontier is transgender. And I think about Laverne, and I think it's absolutely right. I read some of the stuff, some of the interview, and it basically talked a lot about, it was easy even with the gay rights movement. You were either what's your orientation? You're either gay or not gay. You're either gay or straight. And if you're gay, then what are you in the gay world? Are you gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender for a while? But when you talk about the transgender community, she spoke to Facebook having, 51 options for your gender. You're really talking about accepting people for who they are, not just their gender, not just their orientation. And in Laverne's case, you're talking about people of color, you're talking about people from the South, you're talking about individuality. So finally, I think we're talking about a civil rights movement that accepts the individual for who they are, and all their beauty and all their complexity.
Yes, and then there's also on a side issue. There's this whole thing with RuPaul just doubling down constantly on his use of the word tranny, and then other people hating it, and it's like caused this whole rift that I don't think is necessary, but it's happening, and I just observe from a distance. Stephanie,
Interesting.
Stephanie, by the way, our Stephanie Mott, my fave, had a new blog post on lgbtsr.org about trans slurs, which was then on Huffington Post. She sends me her pieces first. Thank you, Stephanie. I love you. You respect me. You appreciate what I do, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She's just really, really a great person.
Well, the whole time we were talking about the subject and rainbow thing in the back was twisting around. So
That's what I want people to see, man. Twisted
I know.
rainbows. Twisted rainbows. I'm a twisted rainbow, that's for
I
sure.
like that. I like that. And, maybe when we talk about gay things, it'll happen. Let's switch gears and see if it twists for the next topic. Your turn.
My turn is just the normal heart. It was on Sunday night, and we haven't watched it yet. Now, before it ran, I was like, oh, I want to watch this. I want to watch this. But then it ran, and it was like one more time where I didn't want to see something about AIDS, and it made me stop and think like, how I've avoided it. I don't think that's a bad thing. It just is what it is. I didn't see Philadelphia. I didn't see the HBO version of Angels in America because I saw the stage play with Michael Lohman 22 years ago in Los Angeles, and I sobbed through the whole play. I mean, Jim had not even been dead a year.
Mm,
So, and that's a big part of why I moved to New York City. I consciously said I don't want anybody in my life dying from AIDS, and I don't
mm.
think that's a bad thing. It is what it is. I lost a lot of friends. I watched a man die in the bed next to me for 2 years, and when I moved to New York, it was like I gotta open a new chapter in my life. And so even all these years later, it's really hard for me to see these things. I don't want those emotional memories. And I saw the Normal Heart with Richard Dreyfuss in L.A. I reviewed it for Edge, which was a gay paper in L.A. back then, like 1986 or something. And Jim was went with me to see the show. So even all these years later, it's not denial. I mean, you know what I mean? I used to feel guilty and say, well, yeah, I'm not in denial. It's that I have these, and you have them too, because we've had guests on our podcasts who brought these memories back, and you get emotional. We all get emotional. That grief is still there. It's never gone. It just recedes, and I don't want to go there yet. I mean, it's the kind of thing that I would like to watch at in the morning or in the middle of the afternoon, so that I have the rest of the day to just distance myself emotionally from it. So I haven't watched it yet, but we're going to at some point.
Yeah, and I hear it's fantastic and probably a must see for you. A lot of my friends have seen it. A lot of people are commenting on it. People are asking me similar question: Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Mine should be for the reason of yours, and it probably is, but mine's more just I don't have HBO, and I know it'll come out like the Liberace thing on Redbox, which I have unlimited Redbox for the year because I was a winner, as you know. But Mark, might I suggest you watch it as a piece of art? That's hard to do because emotion is connected with art and should be, but maybe if, like you said, I like your idea of trying to watch it during the day or something, but maybe watch it just from an actor perspective or something like that. I'm not sure, but I do want to see it as well. I'm just not sure when. And the little rainbow was twisting heavily when you were talking just a minute ago.
Was it?
Yes, yes, it is. My
Wait,
subject.
wait.
This.
I just want
Oh,
to.
oh,
I'm
oh.
just gonna real quickly. I want you to go on, but I'm gonna do something really fun. I'm gonna um. I'm gonna record you and I. I'm gonna record us doing a podcast. This is like a third level, fourth level strangeness.
Yeah,
Go
you're just
ahead.
trying to get more than 7 viewers. We need to get back up to our 400. But you're also, when you do that, Mark, you can kind of see if the thing is behind you. Can you see it in the window of your camera now? The little rainbow thing?
No, because my camera's pointed at you.
Oh, why isn't it
Wait,
me?
there it
Turn
is.
around, do a selfie. There it is. My subject is about a couple new inventions that are out. First of all, let's talk about Cheerios protein. Have you heard?
No, but that's really like, what is that? How can there be
I know.
protein in
That's what
Cheerios?
people need to know. I'm giving you I'm letting you know that Cheerios protein is really 11 grams when you add the milk. They advertise on the cover. It's just Cheerios, like we know it, with little globs of protein because they're going after the Greek yogurt market. And then I saw a commercial last night after I thought I made the discovery of the week, finding this Cheerios protein. There's also like a special K protein. So all the cereals we used to know and love are coming out with like Fruit Loops protein. And they're going to have little globules of protein in it. But you need to know, since you ask, that the Cheerios protein is really lentil. Now, it
Oh,
doesn't taste
wow.
like lentil, but I know, right?
That's so vegan or
Well,
something.
it's so
It's really
Cheerios packy or something. I don't
very
know.
Brooklyn. Very, very Brooklyn. Williamsburg.
Yeah, so that's what it is. That's one invention I want to mention. The other one's going in an Indiegogo campaign on Monday. I know you don't self fund anymore. I know you don't
Well, I
really do a
never
lot of
did.
those.
I just don't
No.
pay other people.
Well, yeah, I know. And so Indiegogo, you might want to look at this one. It's a new invention that didn't get funded by it was submitted to the Gates Foundation. The inventor is Charlie Powell. I'm talking around what it is to create curiosity here. See if you can guess, kind of like Jeopardy. Charlie Powell created this. He took it to the Gates Foundation, tried to get funding. They didn't fund it, so now he's doing Indiegogo with the galactic cap, the new condom.
Oh,
It's a
I
condom.
saw something about that. It just fits over the head or something. But I
Exactly.
thought,
It's like,
listen, I thought of that years ago.
well, why
Years
didn't you
ago.
create it?
Because I just no, I just thought, why not have a condom that just goes over the head so that you have all that sensation.
That's exactly it. A lot of people are opposed to condoms in the straight and gay community. It doesn't matter because of the sensation. But you're absolutely right. It is. for visual effect, and I'm not trying to put on a show here, and I'm trying not to have it by my
I
mouth,
get it. It
but
just goes over the head.
it goes like so. Here's the head. Yeah. Well, it's two pieces. You put this thing on like this, and then the cap goes on like that, and then you remove it. Like like toys come in when you go and put money in the quarter machine, and it comes out with a little ring and that little thing that goes like this. That's what it's like. Now the challenge here is yes, it will prevent pregnancy. Yes, it will prevent HIV. But there's a lot of STDs that wouldn't be included because they say that just protecting the sperm and encapsulating it will not really prevent STD. So, two amazing inventions related to protein that came out this week.
I like that. And
Yeah.
speaking of funding, crowdfunding, Reading Rainbow. That was just in the news yesterday. Oh, come on. Not Jordy LaForge. Oh, LeVar Burton.
LeVar
Yes,
Burton.
yes, he did a Kickstarter for Reading Rainbow to do a digital version. Got $1 million in a day. And now he's up to like $2.5 million. And he
That's
cried on his video.
fantastic.
I mean, that's amazing, amazing. So my next thing was just yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
By the way, I have a bell, and
I
I
know.
should have brought it because then we could do battling bells. But um, Rainbow Mountain. We went to Rainbow Mountain last week. You
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. And your rainbow is flirting around behind you. Yes,
Yes. So,
flitting,
anyways, we
flitting.
went to Rainbow Mountain, and I just wanted to comment on because I go like, why do I love it here? It's so peaceful and relaxing. But I also like the fact now I know that we're assimilated now, and someday, there won't be any labels. We'll all just be people. But I'm an older gay man, and I have these cellular memories, as I would call them, of I don't know if it's homophobia. I don't know what it is, but I really like being in an environment that is almost exclusively gay. And there's trans people there, there's some younger people there, but it's mostly really, come on, it's mostly LGBT people at Rainbow Mountain Resort and mostly older. I would say
Mm,
90% of us are over 40. And I just like it. It's one of the reasons I
that's
relax there
wonderful.
because I can just be. There's no, I don't like if I want to hug Frank or something or hold his hand. I can't explain it. I just like that. And there might be people who say, well, we're past that now, and there's marriage equality and blah 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 blah. But there's something for me to be said about being in an exclusively gay environment that's very very comfortable.
Well, I
And
like that, Mark. We talked about that with David Mixner on the show before too. Will there be a day when there's no more Jewish film festival or LGBT film festival? And I think you answered it. I'm grateful for the people that own it because sometimes things go out, like you said, and integration can take away from those types of things, and they could have lost their business with people saying, "Oh, we don't need a place like this anymore." You find it full all the time, and you find people feeling your way there. I'm sure there's lots of people that probably feel that comfort level, huh?
yeah, and I don't think it's unusual. I think no matter what minority you're a part of, whether you're Asian or black or whatever, if you go to a place where you see yourself all over the rooms,
Mm-hmm.
it's very comforting, very
I
comfortable.
understand. That's fantastic. Two resignations yesterday in the White House, as you saw. One, of course, was Eric Shinseki, head of Veterans Affairs, resigning. And then in that announcement, Obama pulls out that his good buddy and a man I respect, Jay Carney, is leaving the position as, his press secretary. Couple interesting comments that relate to digital media. So someone had posted a picture of Shinseki's, a journalist that was covering it, a broadcast journalist had posted a picture of it on Instagram or something of the press conference. And when they looked around, they realized that all the broadcasters covering it that were in the room, the broadcast reporters, were male. So it was very interesting commentary. And then, of course, as it relates to the other resignation, the awkward hug. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures on Facebook or Twitter or any of that. The hug between the president and Jay Carney. The president referred to it. He said, it's hard to be in your mid 40s and still make friends. And he said that he was able to become really good friends with Jay Carney at a later day in his life. They went in for this very awkward hug. I don't know if you saw the picture. It's circulating in the news right now.
I'm sure you saw it.
I
So
did.
was it like the lead on the Huffington Post?
I don't know. I mean, the story is on the Huffington Post. It's probably one of the leads, but the hug has made the world is a very interesting commentary I have there. His replacement, his deputy that's stepping into the role of press secretary, this Josh Earnest. Mark, I think it's amazing. The guy's not even 40 years old in that position, and with a name like Josh, and I just kept thinking the days of George Washington and Buchanan and all these like names like Abraham and George, and all of a sudden we're with Obama and Josh. It's just,
Richard,
I just think it's wild to me.
Mark,
Mark, Richard, and Mark.
Richard, Frank. What the hell?
What happened?
I don't know.
Josh. Like someone, Josh. It just, I don't know. I find it interesting.
I will have to see what's trending and certainly and get in the stream.
Yeah, you got to check out that hug. It was just like bro hug, like I can't quite do it, but like the hand
That's
over
what
the.
presidents do.
I know. Well, usually Obama just does the bump, you know. So I don't know. He was full out in this one, but this Lee, I'm really fascinated with this Josh Ernest. Very nice looking guy. Comes from Kansas. Ran Lee Brown's campaign for the mayoral election down in Houston, 1997. Worked with what was his name? Barry. No, I mean, he kind of got in trouble. Marion Barry.
Marion Barry.
Yeah. Then he worked on the campaign of Bloomberg, if I'm not mistaken. And then he went on to work on the campaign of Obama. He ran Obama's first election in Iowa, was real active in the Iowa election and the Texas primary as well. So anyway, there you go. That's my story.
You don't know where he went to grade school and who he dated, and
No, I haven't stopped.
you don't want to go on?
No. Have I bored you? The story is his name is Josh. That's my
Okay,
story.
that's great. His name's yeah. That's going to be in my head all day now. Um, I'm going to close with this because we're coming up on 17 minutes, man. We are so bad at
Wow.
time.
Yeah, we're good.
But I'm just going to close with a book I'm reading. I didn't bring it with me to the house, or I would show you the cover. It's called On Looking, A Guide to the Art of Observation, and it's really interesting. It's a woman in New York City who took like 9 or 11 walks around her neighborhood with different people, like a therapist and an artist and a photographer and a she's an animal behaviorist. But anyways, the whole book, and I've just started it, is about how we miss 90% of what's going on around us.
Wow, I love it.
How we just we don't pay attention. We don't really see the world that we're inhabiting. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I'm hoping it gives me some insight into how much of the world I miss, and I think
Right.
we all do. I mean, I think it's kind of evident, especially when everybody's on a cell phone or something. The world is going on around us in like a million ways that we're completely unaware of, and I would like to personally become more aware of them.
I like it.
That's my
Are there
goal.
photos involved, or is it from their writing that tells what we're missing?
I just started the book. No, but
Well, I know, but you can go like this and
no, but like
see.
each chapter is a different person that she took a walk with.
I think it's fascinating. Great concept. You know how I love my high concept stuff. I'd like to see it. Let me know. Let's have a
Then
review
you
next
must
week.
love Cafe BE. That is very high concept.
Be all that you want to be.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Mark. Have a great day. Yeah, only when we talked about gay subjects did that little thing twirl behind you. For real. It's like a gay ghost at your house in New
It
Jersey.
knows. It
And it's
knows.
really fantastic.
So I'll
Oh,
be
there it
back
goes again.
next
There
week,
it goes again.
right before our cruise. We'll do one more show, and then Frank and I are getting out of here and sailing away.
Okay. And thank
Bye.
you all for joining us. Bye.
Okay. Ciao.